Hello everyone and welcome to a new series on the channel, Facts or Trash, where we take your guys' opinions, me and Modrat, and we we rate them whether they're facts or if they're trash. And if we like it, I'm gonna give it a little gold medal emoji, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna give it a little poo emoji. How you feeling about this, Modrat? Are you excited to see what the good people of our YouTube channel have to say and our TikTok?
I can't wait to get yelled at the Discord for calling some opinion bad.
Hey, that's why we're here. We're here to get yelled at. Also, I'd say TikTok or YouTube. I only pulled these from TikTok. TikTok might be going down anyway. I figured, let's give those guys a chance. The YouTube people have plenty of other
It's the last
chances.
thing they get before they're gone forever.
Yeah, this is the last thing they get. So, thank you for chiming in on YouTube. We use TikTok opinions. I got 20 opinions here by 20 of our great and loyal fans, and we're going to rate them. And I'm going to give you the final say there, Modrat. Because, you're the guest here. Everyone cares what you have to say. No one cares what I have to say. It's
just
really
want
your
them
name.
to yell at me instead of you.
It's your name on the building, Modrat. It's not Ratcore on the building.
It's literally your name.
It's fine. It's fine. We're going to get you started right here, Modrat. Don't worry. So I've read these in advance and picked out what I thought were good ones. They definitely have all been great. We haven't had to restart this because they turned out to be not as good as I thought. This is the first time we've talked about any of this. This is great.
Yeah, definitely don't have a cut before this.
No, there's no cut. They're not going to be able to see it. Maybe if you sub to the Patreon, I'll put the uncut version on there. But, maybe not. Who knows? So the first one comes in from Clocks, I think is how you say it. Sorry if I say your name wrong, or sorry if your profile picture's inappropriate. I don't censor it. Clocks says, arcade is better than realistic with 2 praying emojis. How do you feel about that one, Moderator? You think arcade's better than realistic? You think that's trash?
I don't get all the arcade versus realistic fight. It's like 2 totally different games, pretty much, the way they both play.
I mean, yeah,
like,
that's basically...
It's like apples and oranges trying to compare arcade and realistic. They're just such different games. Except for Naval, they're very similar.
Yes, that is right. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much the same game. They're pretty much 2 totally different games. I don't get why we had to pick one or the other. Couldn't you just play them both and they'll both be okay?
I mean, I think realistic is better, but I just feel like it's an unfair comparison.
Okay, in my opinion, arcade is maybe better at some points, but then once you start getting to higher tier arcade, especially in ground, it just becomes kind of unplayable. Like, top tier arcade is really tough. I mean, people are just smacking you from the second that it starts, and it already happens at top tier. It really happens in arcade. So I'm going to say... I would say it's a trash opinion. I'm going to give it... what do you think? Fact or trash on that one?
I mean, fact. We're comparing 2 different games. You like the other one more, I guess.
But yeah, I guess we'll give it the gold. We'll give it the gold medal of approval. It definitely doesn't deserve the poo of disapproval, so we'll give it the approval. Let's see. Moving on here to the most drunk Sayori. Artillery and artillery pieces should not be in the game. Now I'll go on.
Why?
Yeah, why?
They're fine. I mean, yeah, overpressure is a thing, but also it's not always the easiest thing to pull off, and it really just isn't as big of an issue as I think some people think it is. Especially with how small the maps are getting and stuff. Things like the VDAR are really starting to lose playability.
Well, when people come in, like, getting all angry about artillery pieces, this happens a lot with people not liking artillery. I wonder if they mean because they're too strong or because they think that they're too weak. You never know with
I'm going to assume it's because they think it's too strong.
Which, okay, you're going to say artillery pieces are too strong. Like, what's the one? I use the M109G. That's an artillery piece, right? I mean, okay, it's good and it's fast. But, I mean, it has no armor. Like, machine guns can pierce it.
You have good one-shot potential, but if you mess it up, or if it gets eaten by the tracks, or, there's a bush between you and the enemy, it's over. Now, I can understand with things like long-range maps with the VDAR and stuff that can snipe, but as the game's going on, maps are getting smaller and smaller, and those bigger maps are becoming less and less frequent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm going to put this one in the trash. I'm sorry, the most drunk Sayori. I mean, they're fun and they're okay and they're good. I think they're good. I like artillery pieces. I don't know. I don't agree. Trash. Next, I don't know what this guy's opinion was. I didn't really pre-read it before this, but his username's a little cat emoji and his PFP is a little cat. So I thought we'd hear him out. He has 3 opinions. The guy with the cat gets 3 opinions that we'll rate. Multipathing shouldn't be relied on.
That sounds like advice, not...
Yeah, that's not an opinion, so we'll move on. That's just advice, really. Cast doesn't need a nerf. We just need more and better SPAAs. I could agree with that.
You can do both.
Yeah, you could do both, but
You
I mean,
can make the AA better and limit cast a bit. I mean, just increase spawn points a little bit and start putting some better AAs in the game. The AAs start getting really good, you can decrease spawn points again. It seems like an easy fix.
yeah, we'll give them half poo, half gold medal for that one.
Yeah.
Big maps should be the majority past 8.0 to 8.7.
I mean, I agree with that. It's getting claustrophobic at higher tiers.
It's getting caught, yeah. Getting stuck on a small map when you're in a high tier, it is horrible. I'm gonna give you a full gold star on that one, Chief. So he got a neither, he got half, and he got a gold star. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cat emoji, man. Thank you. Yeah, that was great. Great submission there. We have Jeff the Killer. I assume the creepypasta guy, but his PFP doesn't really look like that. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Historical BRs would absolutely ruin the game, and any semblance of balance would be gone instantly. Yes, Jeff. I have made only a couple videos about this. Right? I've made here they all are. I'm not gonna put the thumbnails, but there they are. I have made them definitely.
I do find it funny when people say they've never done it before, when they have. It was just quite a while ago with the different sort of special aviation events and stuff, so everyone just gravitated to the one historical thing, but it was just outright superior to everything else. It was just all people driving, or all people flying 262s when that was the top tier meta. But people are still like, well, they need to at least try it, even though they have multiple times. Didn't they bring back one of those? It was like the bomber event.
No one used it.
Yeah,
no one played it.
No one played it, and they even removed the ME262 from it, and people still didn't play it.
They didn't even play it. Yeah, I didn't feature them, but you know who you are. You can brag in the comments if you see this. Someone put realism does not equal fun, and man, I agree. Yeah, exactly. War's not fun, actually. I hate to tell you, they weren't having a good time. So yes, Jeff the Killer, I'm going to give you a nice gold medal there. Definitely facts. This one. MG Grease Gun. 6.7 ain't that bad.
Yeah, no. 6.7 is like the most fun. Everyone gets something good at 6.7.
Is that King Tiger BR 6.7?
King Tiger, American T-34. Let's see, what does Russia get around that BR? 6.7? Oh yeah, like the SU-122.
It's also where you can go during events and everyone has their premium King Tigers out and you just get a bunch of free kills.
That's perfect for events if you know what you're doing. You just farm slots.
Yeah, if you're ever having a tough time at top tier BR, go try 6.7 during events, especially if there's one of the sales going on, because everyone will be in their SLAs. It'll be great. Or SALs, SLAs. I'm not sure. SLA, is it called the SLA?
I call it the SLA.
The SLA, the King Tiger SAL, SLA. Yeah, facts. People actually had pretty decent opinions this time around. It's actually hard to find really bad ones, but I'm sure we'll come across some. Here we go. The Gaming Devil 07. The devil is here with us.
Oh no. I am the devil.
Yeah, he's the devil. Getting 1 or 2 kills per tank or game is good, and people shouldn't complain about their teams. Yeah, winning is cool, but it's not always the best, which they use their THERE, which, it's the wrong there, but we'll forgive them for that, I guess.
I'm glad no one sees my scripts, but that's the only there I use.
Yeah, Modrat, if you don't know, Modrat writes all the scripts, and I mean, it's never, they're not riddled with typos. They're almost mostly correct, but it's just that's the only there. But I do appreciate you just sticking with the one, and I can just fix it as opposed to
just constantly
having them all
changing it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've said this before on videos before. Yeah, two kills a game, or even especially 2 kills a tank, 2 kills a spawn. That's pretty good. Modrat probably doesn't get that. Do you get 2 kills a spawn every time? Probably not.
It depends. What that largely dictates on is if you're playing the meta or not. I mean, you bring out France 7-7, yeah, you can get 8 kills. Or if you're bringing out like reserve France, you're going to get like absolutely nothing. 2 kills a game is pretty good. It's going to give you really good, especially with the new research bonuses and stuff. You pull 2 spawns out, you're getting 1 to 2 kills. You're getting your kill boost. You're getting faster research and stuff. I think that's where they expect people to be at. That's why to get like 5 kills in ground is what it takes to get, or is it 9? it's 9 kills in ground to get an extra 100% booster. I mean, they clearly don't expect everyone to be getting that all the time. The average seems to be around where the 10% is, which is 3 or 4, I believe. I mean, that's what I would base it off of. If you're getting that normal booster, you're probably doing pretty all right, because based off of their statistics, that's where you should be.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them 2 gold stars for this. Exactly. So people get so mad. I see them comment all the time like, I only get 1 kill every time I spawn. I said I wasn't gonna impersonate the people that comment like that, but sometimes that's how it sounds. You know, it's not my fault. I'm like, that's good. I wish I got one. Like, I do not get 1 kill a spawn. I have my gameplay going on somewhere, and you can see it. There's not 1 kill per spawn. If you're getting 1 or 2 kills a game, that's great. That's good. You're gonna progress.
Not all of us can be spooks, though.
No, sadly. And now we have so many underscores. It just looks like one straight line. I think it's a cat smoking a cigarette. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know, don't be like the cat. British Tech Tree is not suffering. I agree. I only play ground, but man, I love the British Tech Tree. There's some British gameplay in here somewhere. It's gonna come up. I love the British Tech Tree. I think it's fun. I don't know. What do you say, Modrat?
Britain kind of has the same thing Russia's got going on, where they have like one vehicle that's really good at each BR rating, but the rest of it's kind of meh. I guess the difference is they don't have APHE filler mostly, but like at every rank, there's something that's like really, really good in the British Tech Tree. You just kind of have to know what you're looking for.
Yeah. I guess they do have that whole kind of thing going on where the other stuff's meh, but then they got some really good stuff in there. That's a great way to describe Britain. Yeah, so yeah, you could definitely get the gold medal of approval.
Well, it's like
let's see here.
It's like if you look at A3, like you get the ZA35 and the Falcon and stuff, but like the Warrior and the ZT3A2 aren't that good. The Vickers is all right. Like you would think that BR's meh, but then you pull out the Falcon and the ZA35 and you'll absolutely slaughter in the thing. It's just like that throughout the entire tech tree.
Exactly. Someone was screaming upstairs, but I assume that's fine. Someone yelling upstairs. I'm gonna assume that's fine. We're gonna move on. We got Limac 6. Hello, Limac 6. They're holding like a scorpion in their PFP. It's very cool. For up tiers, you should get way more rewards. So if you get up tiered, you should get way more rewards.
I mean, I'm not against the idea of giving a little extra booster for fighting in that.
Sure, that's fine. But don't you? Isn't that what rank does not like? If you get a tank that's above you, isn't that?
I mean, yeah. I think what they're saying is they want more rewards. Like rank does not matter. It doesn't give you all that much.
Yeah, I think it give you more. Now I'm talking about does just more for being in an up tier. Because isn't up tiering kind of like weird? Because isn't like it's not everyone's up tiered with you. Some people or something.
People but I mean, if you're in like a full up tier, I think maybe giving you like maybe an extra 10% research or something would actually be a very good idea. I actually really like that.
Yeah, that's fine. I think you probably get people to quiet down about it a little because it's not as big of a deal as people make it out to be. So maybe you just gave everyone a little something that might be worth that evens it out.
Yeah,
I'd say. So. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, they give you something you get. You don't get RP for rank does not matter.
No,
just get SL. They give you some RP at least too. That'd be nice.
Watch, this is when someone's going to be like, actually, that system's already implemented and you didn't know that. That sounds like something that would be like, oh, if you kill something at higher BR, you actually get slightly more research points.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure we're gonna learn now.
Yeah.
Well, I guess no. Okay, so if you're doesn't each BR have its own like? Don't you get like an efficiency increase? Isn't that all the time, or is it only for events?
That's just for events. But then there's like a million things. Like if you actually look at the stats cards on vehicles, they each have their own specific research point modifier to them. So like if one vehicle might have like an extra 10% research just for using it versus another vehicle and stuff. It might be in there or something, but that's the closest thing to like the research modifier version of the event booster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, overall, it definitely gets a little gold. It's gold sticker for sure. Yeah, that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. So people had actually pretty decent opinions on this. This one I don't know. I don't know the answer to this one. So I brought it here. I don't know which way it was gonna go. I cannot say his name, so I'm not gonna try. I think his PFP is a little polar bear though, so that's good. Solid shot ain't that bad.
We're gonna get all the people
Well,
who like to argue about ammunition in the comments now.
oh, why is that? Because we're talking about
So
ammunition.
we're talking about ammunition. Yeah. Some solid shots good, some bad. I mean, it's mostly what it is would be argued. I mean, if you're fighting
I guess they're assuming just in general.
I mean, in general, it's not terrible. You definitely have to learn where to shoot a lot more than APHE. And that's what's so difficult about Britain, as you were talking earlier, is all the solid shot. I mean, it's not that bad. But there are some solid shot rounds in there that are completely abysmal. And I think that's what we gravitate towards for vehicles that really struggle with solid shot, as opposed to things like the TOG that'll absolutely eviscerate something with its solid shot.
Yes, I mean, really, it's just kind of a case-by-case thing, I guess.
Yeah. Which they were supposed to make those changes to solid shot, but I don't think they ever did.
I'm going to give him a slightly smaller gold medal than everyone else, but still rewarded to him nonetheless. Let's see. This is Dirty LXO. The people who seriously think Cass is too strong, then it's a clown emoji, so I guess his opinion would be people who think Cass is too strong are clowns. I mean, okay, look, this is what I'm going to say from my experience with Cass, and then Modrak can give his much more rounded opinion. Look, okay. I wouldn't maybe say that Cass is certainly way too strong all the time. I think the biggest reason people get upset about Cass is that it always feels like the people using Cass are way too strong, because you just feel so helpless. Like, you're in a tank, and then you just kind of suddenly blow up, and you felt like there wasn't that much you could do about it. So I'd say that maybe the Cass being unbalanced isn't as bad as everyone always constantly complains about. I think the issue is just that you always feel so hopeless, and you're always just exploding when you feel like you could do nothing. That's what I had to say about Cass. I don't know. What do you think? I wouldn't say the people that are upset are clowns, though.
I would say it varies very much on what VR you're playing at. There are some VRs that are very, very oppressed by Cass, especially when you start getting like P-47 flying around and stuff. And then when you get to top tier, obviously it's insane, but the games don't last that long in top tier anymore, so it's not as bad. I'd actually say it's becoming a really bad lower tier problem.
Yeah.
Probably because a lot of people who are more veteran at the game are coming in and playing those lower tiers now, and then getting into their meta Cass planes with meta loadouts, getting one base capture, and then just doing gun runs across the battlefield, racking up 10, 20, 30 kills. I was playing some lower tier not too long ago down with like the Tiger Ones and stuff, and it's like every game is just American teams throwing themselves up in the air as fast as possible, and then just endless carpet bombings that you either have to hide from or die. I would say it's actually becoming a bigger low tier problem than like a mid tier and high tier problem.
So would you say that people that think Cass is too strong are in fact not clowns?
No, I don't think so.
And it is becoming... No, I don't think you're a clown. And that's it. Now is he trying to get at he thinks that people are whiny about it? I agree. There's maybe a little bit of belly aching, but it's a serious problem. I mean, I would say.
Just increase the spawn points. It's just too easy to get in.
Right, it's such an easy...
There's just too many planes up. One plane doesn't have that big of a problem on the battlefield, but if you're having like 3, 4, 5 guys up after capturing one point in their M18s, that's a real issue, and that's really hard to deal with.
Yeah, I would say I'm gonna give him a poo emoji for this one, because I mean it's a real problem. You're not clown, and it seems like a problem that you could fix by just upping the spawn points, and they just don't.
Or giving more competent CAS options, or not CAS, SPAA options.
SPAA, yeah.
But also the issue is whenever they do put a good SPAA in, they seem to always climb real quick up into the VRs because they're also really good at fighting tanks, like the Falcon, the Marksman, the Leopards with the Marksman turrets on it and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, overall, I'd say not clowns, but maybe it's not. It is hit and miss. We have Zero Zulu. That top tier should not be considered the goal of the grind. Now, me and Modrat are actually fighting about this off camera. Like, a week ago. I like to point out, I how do I feel about this? Me myself. I get what you're saying. Because look, War Thunder, as I say all the time, is a very long game. It takes a very long time to get to top tier. If you're really just trying to grind to top tier, you're gonna really be very upset with yourself because it's gonna take forever. You're gonna have to pay money to get to the top. It takes a long time. Even good people take a very long time to get to the top of the tier, or to top tier rather. But it's just like, to me, this is what I was talking about when I was yelling about it with Modrat. You put a thing in front of people, they're gonna want to get to the top of it. So to be like, oh, like it's not, it's not War Thunder's fault that it takes too long. You need to stop considering, getting the top tier as part of the grind. I mean, that's what people want to grind for, is the top. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. I get what you're saying. It's a great tip, but as an opinion of just like, oh, don't think about getting to the end. I don't know. What do you say, Modrat?
I think it just ruins the fun. Like,
Right.
War Thunder very heavily advertises off the top tier. I mean, every single War Thunder advertising you see is whatever the newest aircraft is with the newest tank. Every now and then they throw a naval ship in. So I would say it's very heavily advertised and trying to incentivize, like, oh, look, we have Abrams, we have T-80, we have Chieftain. I would say, yes, that is a big problem on War Thunder's part that they advertise so high. But I don't... the game is, I think, very well paced to give you more capability as you work your way through and just figuring out where you enjoy playing.
So you would agree with this guy then?
I mean, yeah, kind of, but I don't think top tier should always be the goal. I think the goal should be just play the game and have some fun,
Well, that's what he's saying. It shouldn't be the goal.
Oh, I must have misheard them.
Yeah, his thing is top tier shouldn't be considered the goal of the grind. So you agree with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get what you're saying, which is that is how they advertise. They do kind of stoke the fire a little bit. I agree. Okay, I guess my point is I agree that yes, it shouldn't be the goal because you're not going to really enjoy the game that way. I guess my point is, but War Thunder has a little bit of, it's kind of their fault a little bit.
I'm not saying it's not their fault, but the game is perfectly fine when everyone's not like, oh, I can't wait to get the Abrams. I can't wait to get the T-80. I can't wait to get the Griffin. When you're just going through and playing the game is fun all the way through. And just rushing yourself to the top is just going to be miserable, and you're just going to have a terrible time of it.
Right. Well, I won't fight you on giving him the medal. I will say, maybe we, I mean, I don't know. We'll give him the medal. I do agree. Look, if you're saying that you're not gonna have a good time, that's all you play. I fully agree. Yes, you will not have a good time if you're just like, oh man, I'm gonna be top tier tomorrow. Also, like you kind of said earlier, which I do agree with, it's just a big game.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do? Oh, I should be there to the end. I mean, it's a game with a lot of content. It's not their fault that it takes so long. It wouldn't mean anything if you just got to the bottom. I mean,
what was it in 2024? They added enough vehicles to where if you wanted to get everything from 2024, you had to unlock a new vehicle every 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, so
yeah.
I will say that in fairness, there is just a lot of content. You can't really get mad at a game for just giving you a lot of things to do. So yeah, I'll side with Zero Zulu. This could be a whole episode on. So really, we need to come back and just hash out is War Thunder too long or not.
Yeah.
Really, honestly, this could be a whole. We'll probably do that next episode. Honestly. So I put these two guys together because I'm going to tell you, I do not agree with these people at all. I would give these both the poo emoji immediately. But we'll let Modrat chime in here. So Sean Dog says probably Sweden, China, and Japan have the worst player base in War Thunder. The Max says good game, bad community. And I'm going to go ahead and chime in. Okay, first of all, Sean Dog, I love you, buddy, but I gotta say, okay, it's kind of a cop-out. Like, the game has what? How many tech trees are there? 7, and you called out 3. That's not very specific that you picked, like, half the game, number 1. Number 2, what do you mean the worst player base? Oh, how many?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He's counting.
10.
Okay, picking a third still, I mean, I don't know. It's not very brave, to be honest, if you're asking me to just pick a third of the people that play the game. But, okay, also, people that play Sweden, China, and Japan, that's I mean, most people, I feel like, dabble in different nations, at least every now and again, so I don't even know what you really mean by that. But number 2, good game, bad community, and this is not just a War Thunder thing. I'm not just dogging it on you two, and also, you two were not the only two that said this. You're just the only two that said this together. Every game, I feel like we say has a trash community, because people are online and people are mean online. There's plenty of very nice people that play War Thunder. You know, I do this every day. I've seen plenty of mean people say mean things to me. War Thunder has an okay community, if you ask me. I don't really think there's a horrible systematic problem with the way War Thunder people are in the community. Most people in the community are really quite nice. I don't know, Modrat, what do you think? I give this a trash.
I think there's a handful of very vocal, annoying people that give it a bad rep. I mean, right
Oh, yeah.
now, I'm looking at the game right now, there's currently 105,000 people online. I mean, how many people engage with the forums where you see all the toxic behavior?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
And I mean, I'm not even. Oh, go on.
I just feel like the majority of the people don't engage with a lot of that social media. But if you just find people who play War Thunder, they're fine. But if you're going out and looking for people with these opinions and stuff, like fighting on the forums, we're going to these specialty discords or stuff like that. I feel like you're going to be very likely to gravitate towards that. And it's also a little bit of content creator fault as well. It's always
I was
good
just
fun
about to boy.
to talk about the annoying people, you know?
I was just about to call us out. That's a, yeah, especially because I'm putting their names up here. Max and Sean Dog. I do also have to say I don't really blame you guys for having that opinion, even though I did come out against it pretty harshly. Look, hey, content creators are very guilty of your perception of this, because it's so much fun to talk about like bad, crazy things that happen, when really that's not the actuality. People aren't really saying things like that. Most people are pretty nice. Like, sure, I could make like probably 100 videos about crazy, mean things that people say, but I don't.
Heck,
And in actuality, those
you
people
could go
are-
on the forums and just go through every post and like, look what this
Yeah.
insane person said. Look what this insane person said. It'd probably be infinite content.
Right, but I mean, in actuality, most people just either are nice or just say not stuff here or there. So no, I'm gonna give that the poo emoji. But you also, I mean, to me, it's not a real opinion because you can say that about every video game.
Yeah.
I mean, how many video games have a great player base? No one would tell you that because we don't sit around and talk about, oh, look how nice the people are in this community. Unless I'm missing a community that people like, but I don't really think so.
It's just so much more fun to talk about the bad than the good.
Yeah. You know, this is an interesting one that might get us in trouble. Glitch 246 says, Cass belongs in War Thunder. I mean, yeah, sure. I agree. Sure. Look, I mean, it's part of the game. I mean, okay. So I know what we're getting at here. I'm sure is talking about ground battles. You're talking about having the planes, coming in. People are like, there needs to be a mode in War Thunder where there's only ground and there's no cast. Right? I want to play ground in my ground vehicles. I've seen this point. I've talked about this point. Look, cast serves purposes. All right. It gets people out of places when they're holding positions, and it's hard to get them out of it. And also, here's the thing. Here's my thing. Okay, cast can also make the game more interesting. I know that we say that we hate it. It does make the game more interesting. Number one, if you split it into those two modes, you're gonna have it's gonna take longer to queue into matches, which is gonna be terrible. But also, not even to all that. Look, if you get rid of cast, everyone's just gonna complain about the next thing. I mean, I don't really think that if you removed cast from ground battles, everyone would be happy. We'd just move on to complain about the next thing that kills people the most. Wait, does cast belong in War Thunder? I say, yeah.
I mean,
it does. Sure. What do you think? I mean, yeah. I mean, it doesn't belong in War Thunder. Sure.
I mean, all
would it be nice? Oh, I'll go on.
All Cass is like a kill streak reward, like other games do, like your ultimates or different things you get in like Call of Duty for getting so many kills and stuff. I don't think Cass as a system is the issue. I think the difference between War Thunder and those games that do have kill streak systems is they're adjusting the kill streak system all the time. They're moving the point value around. As something that's really strong, they say, okay, you need to get 3 more kills in order to unlock that. But War Thunder's like, this is a 500-pound bomb. That's an extra 20 spawn points. This is 100 spawn points plane. And we are never going to change that regardless of it literally dominating the entire game. That's the issue, is that they don't adjust the points. If they'd adjust the points, it wouldn't be so bad. But they just are so dead set on just keeping it the way it is.
Wait, this is like the other thing we were talking about, where it's like, yeah, cast is fine, but they just really need to come in and adjust those point values a little bit more. So, I mean, I say you can definitely be facts on this one. It's just, it does need to be adjusted. Does cast belong in War Thunder? I say yeah, because it's like a kill streak. But
and if you're not going to adjust it, you need better counters for it, which they're promising that they're going to bring in a bunch more SPAA. And like 2 updates ago, they did give like every country a bunch of copy paste AA. That's good. We'll see if in 2025 they keep with that. If they don't want to adjust spawn points, I guess that would be a semi-acceptable alternative. But I just got a strange feeling it's not going to counter it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Well, we got like 6 more. This is already taking a long time, so we're gonna rapid fire some of these. Let's go. All right, next. Planes should be taken out of ground battles. This is just like the other thing. Cass is objectively these are 2 for 1 here. We got Fazza saying planes should be taken out of ground battles, and Alex saying Cass is objectively harmful to the ground experience, only benefits people who should be in air anyway. I understand it's fun, but we need an only ground mode. I mean, this is just like the other opinion. I mean, I don't think it needs to be removed. If you want to make it... Okay, so let's just address this real quick, I guess. So, Modrat, should they make a mode that you can play without planes?
The only time I would say yes to that is if the player base gets bigger, which I would say with how many people are playing, you might actually be able to get good queues with only ground and cast stuff. I just don't think there's enough players to get that fast, like, login time with an only ground game mode. And people say, like, oh, I'd sit there for 2 minutes, I'd sit there for 5 minutes waiting for a queue. No, you wouldn't. When no one plays Enable.
Right. Because people don't understand how harmful bigger queue times is, and War Thunder's already a big game. No, that's okay. You know, I'm gonna give you guys the medal here, and then what I'm gonna say here is, you know, maybe they could try it. They could try it and see how it goes. Maybe bring it around as an event type thing and see how it goes. I guess. Because look, if you like it, then keep it, and if people don't, then don't. Now, we would hear a bunch of annoying cast people complaining about, like, oh, no one ever wants to load into my game mode, the way that, like, people complain that no one wants to load into their custom matches, maybe. But hey, you know what? If people like it, people like it. And you know, if you're in the minority, that's your problem.
Well, we told Enable.
Yeah, so we told Enable people. So, yeah, maybe test it. Maybe test it out and see how only ground battles play out. Because I'd be curious to see if people like them as much as they say.
I mean, my biggest issue would just be queue time. I think queue time would be really bad.
Yeah. I think it would too. Because, I mean, you're really just copy pasting. I mean, people that don't like about copy pasting, you're literally just taking almost the same game mode with just like a setting, and now dividing the biggest player base into 2 half-sized groups, because it's probably pretty split. So I think you'd really mess up your queue times there. And say, yeah, just like Modrat said, don't say that you'd wait because you wouldn't. So, you know, I maybe try it out. But yeah, you guys are fine. I yelled about this one. I told Modrat I was going to read him these. I started yelling no when I was reading this one, so he already knows this one. Multi-crew tanks and bombers would be really fun. No, they wouldn't. No, put 2 poos on there.
I can understand it as like an April Fool's event or something. Or maybe something like if you could log in and you and your friend control it, but like a random queue where it's just like you and some random people throwing your aircraft. War Thunder's not squad. War Thunder's not Arma.
It's not squad.
People got no reason to cooperate with each other, and they're not going to cooperate with each other.
No, it'd be horrible. I already get bossed around enough in the game. I don't need bossed around anymore. No, sorry, friend. You know, the fun idea. I will say though, okay. So I'm gonna give this the poo emoji because I think it's a terrible idea. I appreciate you coming up with a noble idea here. You don't know me 83. You know, you came up with something that I usually hear people say the same 20 things. You actually came up with your own concept, your own idea. That's great. I just personally not my thing. But you know what? I do commend you for that. Moving on. We got Theo. I think he has a boy kisser painted as some kind of country. There shouldn't be premiums above like 9.3. I saw this opinion and I'm like, this just really seems like splitting hairs to me. 9.3. What's the highest ground BR?
The highest ground BR is like 11.7.
I mean, so we're gonna stop at 9? I don't know. This just seems silly.
What I will say is that is in line with the highest is 12. That is in line with what they originally promised, that there'd never be any top tier premium, and higher stuff would only come as ranks went up. That is what they originally promised, but it does kind of seem like splitting hairs. And also, what I wonder as well, people are always like, oh, they just want to sell top tier stuff to cash in and all of that. That's why there's always at top tier. There's always premiums running around everywhere. I'm starting to wonder if it's a queue time issue. I wonder if there's not enough people at top tier to fill out games. So yeah, obviously they are breaking in a ton of money by selling top tier stuff. I wonder if they kind of conceded that partially to make money, but also partially to get the queue times down. I wonder if they were struggling to fill
Yeah.
up top tier games again.
Yeah. I mean, Theo. I mean, okay. Like I said, I mean, yeah. I would say this is trash only because it does feel like splitting hairs. I do see where you're coming from though, and War Thunder is breaking their promise, so there is that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, are we really gonna do this? I mean, we already sell like everything else. Like, I don't think. Also, what do you get? I mean, I don't know. I don't think it'd really change very much. But you know, it was something. Thought it was a neat comment. Let's see. Now this one, I feel like Moderat has opinions about because he's yelled at me at length about these things before. Flying Scotsman says, the UK currently has the best air tree in the game, and it's not even close. Also, their ground isn't that bad. We're talking about UK ground. But yeah, what do you, Moderat, you seem to have a lot of opinions about the UK air tree. So what do you, how do you feel about that?
It's the same as the ground tree. At ranks, they have like one good aircraft that's really good, and a lot of the stuff suffers incredibly heavily. It's incredibly high BR for what it is, I think, a lot of their aircraft. And yeah, you got like a handful of things here or there, like they have the Typhoon now, they had the Gripen. But like when your picks for like just before top tier are like the inferior Phantoms and some Harriers and the Buccaneer, it's just I just don't think, I think it struggles quite a bit. It has a lot of legacy aircraft that used to be very good in the game that suffer from power creep and stuff at higher tiers being pushed down in it. It's just, it feels like as you get higher up, you're just always the underdog as Britain.
Yeah, so you definitely say not the best air tree in the
No. And until recently, it's just always, we're talking about it with Germany now. Like Germany's not getting a top tier, whatever. Germany's not getting a top tier ever. Before that, it was just always Britain. Britain was just always a foot behind at the top tier. They were never competitive at the top tier until the Gripen started coming out, and then they got the Typhoon. But before that, you're playing top tier with just outright inferior aircraft. Britain's been on the back foot for a while. They're finally getting a little bit of justice, but as a whole, I don't think it's the best air tree.
Which I'll have to take Modrat's word on that because I don't play air. So, you know, sorry, Flying Scotsman. But you know, I mean, hey, the ground thing, I love UK ground. So there you go. SAAB, or as I've learned, Saab or Saab, I think. Portly, I got yelled at once for saying SAAB. Portly, the 2S38 is not especially broken since the nerf. I don't play the 2S38.
The 2S38 got stronger after the nerf because now it doesn't have first stage ammo storage. It can just fire all of its rounds.
Well, he seems to believe that it's gotten weaker.
I mean, they put the electronic systems in. You still, if you're in a hold down position, don't really die in it. And now the ammo rack's harder to hit because it's just one horizontal shell versus a belt that used to loop around that you could one shot. And now it could just keep on firing without ever having to reload. I will not argue. I think it is way too low BR and it needs to go up. But it got stronger. That wasn't a nerf. They claimed it was a nerf. I don't think it was a nerf.
Oh man, so sorry, Saab. You do get a little poo emoji for that one, but you know, also Modrat, isn't this the vehicle that you like by default take up like a whole BR when you?
I have the 2S38. I have the 2S38 and the Squadron BMP2M. I play those at 11.3. I don't play them at 10.3. They're just too strong at 10.3, both of them. Now the BMP2, when you get it spaded, is too strong. Before it's spaded, it's actually a little bit difficult to play. I just by default play them at 11.3 because that's just really where they should be.
He's not gonna get a lot of support from us here, but you know, but you know, I think what this does show is, so you know, it was supposed to be a nerf. You're saying that actually kind of made it stronger. You know, people definitely do feel changes to the game differently. You know, that's at least something interesting to point out. So yeah, there's that. We got two more here though. Tip tier. I imagine he means top tier. Anton, our friend. I assume he's talking about top tier. I hope he's talking about top tier. Top tier is 10 times better now with Fox 3 than before they added them. Also, modification is kind of a useless feature. I agree, modification is kind of a useless feature. I don't use Fox 3s, but I've heard Modrad yell about Fox 3s. Would you say the game is 10 times better since the addition of Fox 3 missiles?
It depends on when they decide how Fox 3s are going to fit. That's my biggest problem with top tier air, is they can't decide where where they want the missiles to work. I mean, you can see it with like multipathing. I think they finally settled on 40 meters being how tall they wanted. I mean, that's my biggest issue with Fox 3 that makes it so much more difficult, is they don't keep it consistent. They're always changing.
Right.
If they keep it consistent, I'd have a more consistent opinion. But I mean, the radars are always changing. The missiles are always changing. The airframes are always changing. The engines are always changing. I'd have more of an opinion if things would settle down.
We're gonna give you. I guess it's not 10 times better, so we'll give you a poo for that one. But hey, maybe in the future we can revisit that opinion and see. So there's that. Thank you, Anton. And last, because I knew I wasn't gonna like this one, so I saved for last. Zeno, sorry friend. Zeno, level-based matchmaking for 7.0 and lower. No, I would say no on this. So, mostly because of the queue time thing. I mean, now, okay, so you gotta think. So we were talking about having cast on and cast off. That would probably really mess up queue time. I mean, there are so many different BRs that you're trying to sort people based on their matchmaking. I mean, that's just... It would take forever. You would sit in queues forever, I feel like. Now, unless you're talking about maybe just have the discrepancy to try to put people together, then maybe it wouldn't change it too much. But then you're not going to change very much anyway either. So I don't really see the point of it. Also, I don't really see why cutting it off at 7.0. I mean, if it's either going to matchmake or it's not. Based on level. I don't know. I feel like this is unnecessary. I get what you're coming from, which is we don't like that low-level players get attacked by top-level players in the beginning of the game. I do know that is a problem, but I mean, here's my other thing about that is, okay, so you play through the game, you get from the beginning all the way to like the middle or the top, and then you go to start a new tech tree. I'm not advising that people get to the end of the game or get to level 100 and come back and hurt newer players on purpose. But look, you like completed a whole tech tree, and I can start over at the beginning. Should you really have to fight people that have only been playing as long as you? Maybe you should get to enjoy the fact that you're a little bit better at the game. I don't know. What do you think, Modrat?
I think that field clubbing wouldn't be as much of an issue if they would get rid of the system where event vehicle that ranks 1 and 2 stride points. That's just nothing, especially now that they have the ongoing continuous events now, where there's always an event going on. I think, I don't think that there should be skill-based matchmaking, but I'm starting to feel a bit more warmed up to it now that there's always an event going on, and there's always like 3 level 100s kicking your teeth in at bottom tier because they don't want to play at their level. I get that.
Right, exactly.
I don't think it should be that way. I think they need to get rid of that system, and it would help. It wouldn't solve it. It would help. But also, I don't think there should be skill-based matchmaking because you wouldn't be able to queue, and it would discourage people from not always just turning the game into league now. Everyone cares about their rankings like crazy. No one can just come back and, like, you finished your US tech tree. Maybe you want to try China now. Well, now you don't want to do that. That's going to mess up your KD. Your queue times are going to be forever. War Thunder is a competitive game, but it's not a incredibly toxic competitivity game, and I only see it becoming a toxic competitivity game that way. Also, skill-based matchmaking doesn't work because in a research-based system like War Thunder, people are just going to dump games. They're going to queue into games, they're going to J out, and do that 5 times. Then get put in against level 1, Field Club, then ruin their KD again to maximize research.
Right. Yeah, I mean, overall, I would say, that's one thing, that it has kind of messed up things more now that we have the ongoing events all the time. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to still give it a poo, because I just feel like, I feel matchmaking would just take forever. And again, my issue is either you'd have matchmaking that would actually matchmake people that were really close, and that would take forever, or you wouldn't be that close, but then you're not making a change. Overall, I'd have issues with the implication of how it would actually work, but I definitely see where you're coming from, and I do like the idea, yes, more now that there's ongoing events. I mean, you can't play bottom tier hardly at all anymore. There's always someone in there with their stupid event vehicle.
One thing I would like to really compare it to is if you ever played Pokemon TCG.
Oh
and you're
gosh.
very low level, they have skill-based matchmaking, which means um, every other game you're playing is versus a guy who would functionally be level 100 with his meta steel like Zekrom juggling deck that's designed to just like annihilate with like $400 cards, just randomly show up in your game and just wipe the board with you because you're just trying to get through the battle pass system as quickly as possible. That's what War
Yeah, but
Thunder is going to turn into if you do that. It's just level 100 dumping their KD and then coming in and just brutalizing everyone all the time as well. I almost wonder if it would make this problem worse.
probably. Yeah, but overall, yeah, still a little poo on that. No, noble idea. I definitely see where you're coming from with that one. I'm still gonna give it the poo for sure. But yeah, that's all the opinions we have. This went like twice as long as I thought it would. But that's fine. That
We do
happens.
talk a lot.
I'll cut it. I'll cut it all. You blaming me?
I said we.
Oh yeah, exactly. Both of us. It's fine. I'll cut it down. It's gonna be only 45 minutes by the time we're done with this. It's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be all right. Do you have anything to say to the good people, Mod Rat, before I end this?
No.
Yeah, so make sure to comment, on the other videos I put out, so we can discuss more of your opinions. Maybe next time talking about. I don't know what we're gonna talk about next time. We already said
We're
going to
get
next time.
half as many questions. That's for sure.
If we didn't agree with you, don't worry. It's not personal. It's just we're just talking here. Everyone's great. Everyone, I love you all individually. You're all the best. But of course, we can't go without thanking our great Patreons, Candyland and the Doctor. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. And if you'd like to join our Patreon, click the link below. It's some amount of money a month. I changed it recently to make it lower. I forgot what it is. But yeah, all kinds of perks on there. You get all the videos before they release. And it helps us out. So thank you guys so much. And we'll see you next time.